And I told him, no, Johnson, actually, I want those sales reports done on my desk by 3 o'clock. And he got them on my desk by 3 o'clock. And that's how I saved the company. Wow, that was amazing. Ah, I saved everyone. Saved their livelihoods and essentially their lives because of me being good. Sales reports, TPS reports. Have you seen the film Office Space? It's funny. Written by the guy who Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill and stuff. It's one of the few comedy films actually that I like because most comedy films are just shit. Like they're, over the top, wacky. Oh, I fell in the swimming pool. Oh, I'm yelling in a funny voice. Like Ewan does. Or I'll swear unnecessarily. It'll be really funny. But then, I don't have a budget of hundreds of millions of dollars, so you get what you pay for with Ewan. But when it's a major motion picture from a big blockbuster studio, they should actually be funny. In my humble opinion, comedy films should be fun. Anyway, so I saved everyone's lives. They gave me a big award. There was a big ceremony. They gave me a crown and everything. But I told them, it's not about the fame and the money for me. I just want to do a good job. So I turned down, the £100,000 check they wrote for me, the crown, and there was at the ceremony there was a big golden dinosaur with jewels all over it, and I said, "Oh, can I take that?" Because I'd have that in my room happily. It was like an 8 foot tall Tyrannosaurus Rex, all gold with jewels all over it. It had like jewels for its eyes and stuff. And I said, "Could I have that instead?" And they said no. I think that was like like an ancient Egyptian heirloom or something. And I was not allowed to take it. Hi everyone! How are you all doing? I hope you're all, Well, in the news today, besides me saving everybody, I don't know where the fuck that came from. I haven't saved anyone in my life ever. We're drawing Gun Viking. I thought what would be fun. Someone almost ruined the surprise. Someone, I won't name and shame them. Someone on Instagram was like, "Ewan, you should do some colouring stuff." I think they mentioned for their kids, and I was going to be like, "Fuck your kids, worthless shit." No, they said, "Ewan, you should do some colouring pictures or book or something," and I had to tell them to shut their fucking mouth. Do you ever have that when like you're a kid and you'd be like, "Okay, I know Mum wants me to do the dishes or whatever," so you go to do the dishes, and on your way to do the dishes your mum says, "Oh, could you do the dishes please?" And instantly you don't want to fucking do the dishes because then it feels like you're only doing them because, or she thinks you're only doing them because she told you to, when actually you were doing them because you were trying to save everyone's livelihood. So similarly to that, I was planning on doing like a one-off Gun Viking colouring image, and then maybe make like a contest out of it. So put it up online. I'll put it for free on Patreon so anyone can go download it, colour it in, and then I'll judge the winners. Whoever's the best colourer will win, I don't know, the drawing, a painting of Gun Viking, I don't know, whatever I've got lying around that I want to get rid of. I'll just fucking give it to someone else, make it someone else's problem. That's the American way, of which I am a part, obviously. So, no shading, just line work, neat and tidy. I will use white out to get rid of some of the other bits. Um, gun Viking with a gun and a Viking. Gun octagon in the background there with his Uzi. I mean, that'll be a nice little. There's a few elements to it. A nice square in the background that you can use bold colour or put some actual like background elements in there. Numerous things you could do with it if you were to take part in the Coloroo competition. So get involved. It'll all be up on my Instagram or whatever. I'll announce it. See if anyone gives a shit. I don't know. It's probably better pens I could use than ballpoint for this, for the outlining. But I'm comfortable using ballpoint pens, so that's what I'm gonna do. Speaking of gun Viking, I was thinking I had a laugh to myself earlier in the week because I had a thought and then I realised it was not the dumbest thought, but a dumb thought. And I laughed to myself for the fact that I actually had that thought. So I was thinking, as you've probably all seen, I assume everyone has seen everything I've ever done. So I assume, that's the wrong direction, shit. I'll assume you've seen one of the original images of Gun Viking where it's a Viking with 4 arms and a gun in each arm. And it's an image I've used in a few places here and there. I thought it might be cool in a future Gun Viking story, not the one I'm doing currently, but in a future Gun Viking story, to actually have that show up, have it happen. Because if nothing else, it'd be fun to draw and paint, which is sort of the whole point of Gun Viking. Is it's a bunch of shit that I want to draw and paint, so I'll put it in a comic and it'll give me a reason to draw and paint it. That's the whole fucking point. So far, it's gone quite well, mostly. So that was the basic idea. Then I thought, okay, well, like most of Gun Viking, literally how most of Gun Viking has worked has been, here's an idea for a picture I want to draw. How do I fit it into the story, quote unquote, of Gun Viking? What's the reason? Because otherwise it's just an art book. If it's just a bunch of random unconnected images, it's just an art book, which, is cool. There's no reason not to have that. But if my purpose is to make a comic book, then I should have, some sort of narrative connecting all of these images. So, I was thinking, how does it happen? How does he get his 4 arms, his extra 2 arms? Why does he have them? How does it happen? Where do they come from? Where do they go? Where do they come from? Cotton Eye Joe. I did think, I had an idea where, I don't know, he'd need to climb up this mountain, like this sheer rock face, this big mountain, cliff edge or something, to get into this cave. So in my head, it's like the mountain is like, if the mountain or cliff is this big, this is the top, and this isn't, some water and rocks. This is like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet, and like here, there's a little cave, like a hole. So he's got to either go down or go up, whatever, into this cave. In that cave would be this like mystic, magical spider monster creature, like this ancient magic spider sorceress thing that would imbue him with the power of spider, which would make him grow more arms. I figured maybe he has to do this to, he needs the extra firepower, the extra arm power to allow him the extra firepower to defeat some certain kind of evil or something. But then, so this is getting on to the thought I had that was stupid, was I, I didn't. I thought I don't want to have too much magic, or I don't want to have magic existing in Gun Viking's universe, because Gun Viking got his powers because of science, because of futuristic science that came back to the Viking age and affected this one person in such a way that they, through a matter of events, became Gun Viking. So it was like it was a science thing that happened in the future that affected the past that made Gun Viking what he is. It wasn't like some magic thing or whatever. So I was thinking I don't want to have like magic exist necessarily in the Gun Viking universe. It'd be cool to have it be like science and real world things. I then laughed to myself. This is where I thought, like, what a fucking idiot. Really, Ewan? Really? No magic? In the very first fucking issue, he fights some zombies, and then there's a lich, and then this golden brain flies away off into the mountain, which wakes up the Mountain King, which is a giant living mountain with a big glowing eye. And then Gun Viking shoots it in the eye, and it crumbles, some would say magically. So the idea that I'd want no magic in the Gun Viking universe is fucking stupid. So I'll have him meet the spider magic mystic sorceress, probably a lady. I'll make it a sexy spider lady, like from James and the Giant Peach, that one. And then she'll grant him the boon of a couple of extra arms with which he can hold extra guns to help defeat, I don't know, some power that I haven't really thought of yet, but I'm sure I'll get to that, because this is like a future story. And in between that, I've got a whole other story in my head. So I've got the current story I'm working on, which I've almost finished. Then sometime in a couple of years, maybe, I've got an idea for another story, which will be cool. A slightly shorter one, maybe like 40, 50 pages. And then I was thinking similar to Hellboy, where he has loads of like mini adventures, only like several pages long, maybe something like that. So maybe the four-armed spider thing could be one of those. But yeah, so a few ideas for stories. But we'll try to get this one finished first, yeah. See how that bloody goes. But where are we at with Gun Viking currently? Here's a page I'm working on right now. All right, issue 4. So issue 3 left off with them riding off into the sunset, and it said they'll be there in 2 days. And then 2 days later, they're here. We found them outside the wall, sir. Oh no, he's in shackles. Oh shit, they're going to fucking cut her up. Grr, grr, ah. And he's like, the Viking. So he's obviously aware of him. And then it says, so that's 2 days later. And then it says earlier, and they're outside. And they're like, oh, we're finally here. I can't believe it. It's terrifying. And that's the big place where they're at. And they're here like, oh shit, how do we get in? She's like, let's fucking make a tunnel. And he's like, nah, bitch. Knock, knock, motherfucker. And then it goes to now again. And this guy's like, ha ha ha, the Viking, I know you. My men fear you as a god, and blah, 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 a bunch of shit. But I know there are no gods because of whatever, which makes you a man. But who are you, Viking? Who are you? And his hand is like glowing, and he puts it on his head, and it's like, vroom. And then it goes, fades in to this, which is a flashback. So it fades down to smoke to this burning village. Shit, man, the village is on fire, and there's like, they're raping women and got a big axe, cut that guy's head off, burning people. Shit, what the fuck is happening? This kid's scared out of his fucking mind. He runs away. I need to redraw that a bit. He runs away, and this guy's like, what's that? He's like, oh, get that fucking kid. can't quite see it, but like the kid's running through the forest, and then this is the tree line. Above the tree line, there's this thing falling out of the sky, and then a bright flash of the tree line here blown back slightly. It's all going to be bright white, and then he'll be stood in the woods looking up, just a flash of white, just making everything around him super, super bright. And then another shot of him running deeper into the woods. The next page will be a splash panel showing what he finds in the woods because of this explosion. That's Gun Viking. Oh, let's take a look at an art book, you fat cunts. No, I like you all. I mean, you're still cunts, but I'm a cunt too, so it works. It works with the turtle. This is Zombies vs. Robots complete, the complete collection. I did a video, as I said, I'm sure you've all seen everything I've ever done. So you've all seen the video I did recently of looking at Zombies vs. Robots. This is that, but Zombies vs. Robots stops here. The end of Zombies vs. Robots. The robots set off all the missiles to destroy all the zombies in the world, to blow everything off the planet. But then there's this one deserted island, and a zombie's washed up on shore, and he's lifting his head into the sky, sniffing, going, "Is that meat? What?" Pock! A stick through his head because of this Amazonian warrior, whatever. Another one, tisk, this will never do. Then begins, so that's Zombies versus Robots, but then begins Zombies versus Robots versus Amazons. Zombies, Robots, Amazons. Wow. I don't remember a fucking thing of the story of this. I read it one time years upon years ago. When was it? 2009? 2008. Don't remember a fucking thing, so we're just going to look at the artwork. As always, I love Ashley Wood's sketchy sketch style. He's really, really good at utilising his rough, sketchy style, but still looking like it all looks intentional. Every line has a purpose and a use. It's not like, you know, if I draw a rough sketch, I don't have any to hand. All of my sketches are perfect. There's thousands of lines going every which way until I find the one I want, and then I use a bolder line over that or whatever. Whereas he has rough, sketchy lines, but he knows every line he's making with purpose, which is really quite impressive, frankly. Oh, the Capitol building. That's relevant. Zombie, drool and shit. Group sects. Group sects. That's quite funny. A funny play on words. Ashley Wood does a lot of these, like, I guess, setting, what do you call it? Scene setting panels in his comics. Lots of like open spaces and just not necessarily anything happening, but just showing you where they're at. I guess similar to this, setting the scene and explosions and shit, just so you know where they are, what's going on. That's really cool. I love like just marker pen for the shadow, just rough. You can see not rough, but like quickly sketched drawings of these women, simple forms, but like the shadow there on the dress and stuff, it's really, really well done. Just the light source and then the spray paint, digital colour, really, really nice. Oh, see, group sects, because it's like sects of whatever, but also a big Amazon orgy, three-way kissing and sex and shit going on. This is like a robot ghost thing, I think, or something. I would like a piece of meat. Zombies. Cool, cool, cool. Simple drawings. I love the panel borders, or like, not even borders, but just like lines here. No real borders, but like they're internal, just dividers, I guess, or whatever. I like his text as well. Mates! The zombies are coming after them. Brains! Smash! Kick! I like the skirt lifting up with the bum on show there. Rah! Oh no, what's gonna happen? Let's do some shit. That is fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. Zombie fucker. I like that. And then there's oil paint and spray paint and marker pen. I assume a marker pen base. Spray paint over that. Or oil paint and then spray paint and then some more oil paint. Some like white gel pen scratched in. It's really nice. I love how like gritty and dirty his drawings are, man. But still, the shape of that dome, man, the lighting and everything, so good. Simple, but god damn, he does it well. Cool lighting. Again, open space, lots of open space. 4 panels, open space, 4 panels, open space. Really nice. Even within the panels, like this, the robot person just talking, you don't need, that's called Team Amazon. Go Team Amazon. That's really, really cool. I like it a lot. The ocean with robots in it. Smash. Meat. Mates. Zombies. A fucking minotaur or minotaur, depending on whatever. My queen. They're not alone. We're not alone. Smash. Meat. Fucking minotaur. Really, really cool drawing. Obviously. The doy. A bit more brush pen, a little bit more illustrative than some of his other stuff. Really fucking nice though. Like that. Really like that. Bullfight. Zombies versus robots versus Amazons versus Minotaur versus robots. Burger meat. Minotaur. Beef, see, because it's a cow. Like, it'd be so easy to try to draw this simply, but just fuck it up completely. Because the very few lines he's using is such like a hit or miss thing. You either do it well or you fuck it up. Even like the edge of the paper there, he's got like where the page is, torn out of the book or whatever. Keep that in. Why not? There's no need to get rid of it. Really, really nice. Gives a really defined look to the comic as a whole. As I said before, I love, not necessarily bothering to use the whole page, just this much of the page. I quite like they've put like texture or whatever on the pages as well. It's quite a nice little touch. Mates! Sexy tit grabbing. Minotaur fighting the... I don't know if... I always called it a Minotaur, but then I saw in a film they said Minotaur, so now I call it a Minotaur. I think it was black and white. Tekonkin Cree, that was a good one. Punches the robot into binary speech. Shit going on. Gun. You like the guns. Guns. Vikings. Kicking some ass. Whack. Beating up the zombies while the Minotaur fight's still going on. Fuck. Olé! As he swings a blade out of his hand and it swooshes and beheads. Fuck. Moo. Beheads the Minotaur. That's fucking cool. Oh, it's like some magic bracelet or something from the Amazons. And that's really, really nice. Trying to see how much of it is drawn, how much is digital colour, how much is the tone dots. Fuck. It's really, really well drawn. So simple. But again, it'd be so easy to just fuck it up and make it look shit. Yeah, there's one thing you could say about Ashley Wood. You speak about he's put the 10,000 hours in, he's a master of his craft. Ashley Wood is fucking on it. and has been for a long time. He's had his days of like experimenting with different sort of forms of art and comic books and stuff. He obviously ended up finding something he was comfortable with, something he found to work, and he kept doing it. And it's really fucking good. Let's go kill stuff. Yeah, fuck yeah. Air Force. I like Air Force. Air Force. Smart. Very smart on the titles in this one. Stuff going on. There's a young Amazon with a slingshot. That's pretty cool. Cool shapes. I love that. That's a cool panel. And because of the character design, you know this skull face is that Bertie bot from the previous comic. And that's fucking good. There you go. Callback. I have to do some of those in Gun Viking, or at least one. Try to make it a good one. Big orgy, sexy sex orgy. And then, same again, but they're all zombies. Zombies eating and kissing and biting, eating pussy. Fresh meat, here they come. Whip with a slingshot, that's cool. Poink. Bertie with his gun, blowing the heads off of them. So I guess they're like Amazon zombies or something now. That's really cool. Like the movement there. And the tone dots and shit. God and damn. That's cool. So simple, but it's so effective. Run! Smash! Whoosh! Oh, they lead them all over a bridge and then collapse the bridge. But somebody died. Oh no. I don't really know what's going on. But it looks cool. I like he's got the white, I don't know if it's Tipex or white medium paint or whatever to bring the stuff out there. And then that's the end of him, I guess. But then, looking out into the water, seagulls, ocean liner, water, something there, tentacles, grabbing the ship, fuck. Alert, alert. Fuck, it's a kraken, a goddamn giant squid. Flipping heck, it's mermen. The next one's going to be zombies versus robots versus Amazons versus mermen. I don't think they ever planned to do that. Covers, we've seen a couple of those already, but there's a couple more. Pretty decent oil paintings. That's very sort of Frank Frazetta-esque, but clearly an Ashley Wood painting. That's funny. God damn. Some good shit, man. I think I painted my own version of that at one point. I don't know how thick he lays the paint on to like he covers up the lines he doesn't want, but he also uses it. Shit, dog. Guy's fucking good. Those legs. Zombies versus robots versus Amazons. That's really good. Yeah, absolutely. Like Mike Mignola is one to look at in terms of composition and putting a comic book page together, but also Ashley Wood. Because I've always thought that, I think it's a thing most people know in drawing anyway, is, especially with compositions and stuff, it's largely about knowing what not to draw as much as it is like knowing what to draw. It's knowing what, where not to put in loads of unnecessary details or where to leave open spaces or whatever. Ashley Wood is a very good example of that, of just like the bare essentials of what makes. And even if you take that, like if you take as step one or step two from Ashley Wood in terms of only put the bare essentials in like this, as long as you've got that down, that can be then a basis to work on top of. So you can add extra stuff in, but as long as you've got the main components and you don't, hide them or crowd them with too much stuff. Like there's obviously got like screens and stuff here in the background. You could add more detail in there as long as you keep these in like bolder shadows or whatever. But with Ashley Wood's style, it works to his benefit to have them as simple as possible. Just coloured blocks and stuff. Some good shit. I enjoyed looking through that again. Ooh, that was a heck of a teaser, wasn't it? The little kid is gun Viking. Oh my god, can you imagine? It's called an origin story. An orange story? That's a bit weird, Ewan. Yeah, he wasn't always a full-grown man with giant arms. So it's going to show like a little example of not necessarily exactly how he came to be gun Viking, but the sort of the time, the moment where he would then become gun Viking is going to be shown. And then the big bad evil guy is going to be like, so that's where it comes from. And then he'll, I don't know, maybe try to do something with that or try to use that information against gun Viking in some kind of way. Guess you'll have to wait and see. It's also, I've mentioned many times about liking comic book pages. There's some good Slain ones that are painted in black and white, and it is quite fun to do. It's also a lot quicker than painting in colour, so that's good. So once I've finished recording this and I've got the video uploading, I'll probably finish this page off and it won't take too long. And I can work on the next one. And the next one's a splash panel, so I can do it a bit smaller, get it done really, really quick, and that'll be another couple of pages done, which is cool. Yeah, man. Stuff going on. We're getting there. It's taken a while. It's taken a while and is taking a while, but we are getting there. You bastard. Here's a funny story. I don't know how much detail I have permission to go into, but fuck it, whatever. So I was speaking earlier with the guy who organised and ran that illustration contest that I was a part of for the last couple of years. A guy named Mark. We were chatting about a few things, about how it went and some future contests and stuff. He mentioned, well, okay, there's some stuff I won't go into because it's irrelevant. But one thing he did mention is he's looking for sponsors for, because he had a couple of sponsors like Posca and Red Bull and stuff for some of the other contests. So he's, understandably looking for sponsors for future contests and things. And also trying to, help the artists out to get sponsors for them. And apparently one or two of the quite big name pen sponsors or pen companies or brand name pen or whatever are really happy and wanting to work with some of the artists from the contest. I'm explaining this all very, very badly, but hopefully I'll get the point across. So so he set out, he's averaged it out over the years of the top artists in terms of points, who scored the most points and stuff throughout the contests, and I'm on the top list, which is cool. That's cool in itself. It's cool to know. That's oh wow, I obviously I haven't won one, but I've obviously done enough good that I've been recognised points wise as one of the top artists. So these sponsorship companies or companies that want to work with some of the top artists. So Mark, the guy, put forward the names of the top artists to be these are the top artists, literally in terms of points at the contest and stuff. I think those would be the ones to work with. The companies looking to work with them looked at those artists, apparently, and went, cool, 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 cool. And then came to me and they said, no, we can't work with that guy. Because obviously they look at, my social media, my Instagram, and I guess all the nudes or, just the vile stuff I do and say. And no companies are willing to work with me on a sponsorship level because I'm a vile piece of shit. Which is quite funny. It was extra funny because it was really cool to learn, that I was on the leaderboard of top artists. But even more fun than that, I enjoyed more than that, learning that no companies want to work with me. Literally, nobody wants to work with me because I'm literally one of the best artists. I'm the best fucking artist they've got. And they won't work with me. It's sad, but it is very, very funny. It gave me a good laugh earlier. And I've been a bit down. My friend, you all know, I talk about him every now and again, my good friend Sam, the Sam, he's moving away. Well, at the time of recording, has moved away. He lives at least 4 or 5 hours away now, which is, I don't have a car, so it's far away enough that it's a big, big, big fat pain in the arse. I'll really only be able to see him on super special occasions, and even then only when we're out of fucking lockdowns and shit. So I've been really bummed out these past few days because of that. He's been my best friend for I think we worked it out maybe 13, 14 years or something. And now he's just fucking gone. Oh yeah, I still talk to him and stuff, obviously. But, he's far away now and it's sad. So I've been really down these past couple of days because of that. But I was cheered up a lot when I learned that I'm deemed inappropriate and not suitable to literally, Mark was telling me, he put forward a list of names, top artists. These are the ones you should work with to these companies. And the companies looked at the artists and went, brilliant, 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 brilliant. Not so much this guy, this Ewan guy. They just want nothing to do with me. Which is, sort of kind of, it's on brand. I feel it suits me perfectly. I'm a filthy piece of shit, so I shouldn't have sponsorships. But you can say that that's some fucking bullshit. And, they should be sponsoring you, which they should be, because it shouldn't be. They're he says some bad words or draws some off-colour things, so we can't work with him. Some of the people that companies do work with, horrible, horrible people, but they endorse them still, obviously because of money. But so I'm not bitter at all. I do think it's funny, but what it does mean is that it pushes me more to make it on my own, to do my own shit, like Gun Viking. There's no comic companies saying, hey Ewan, here's some money, we'd really love you to draw our comic book or whatever. It's up to me to say, right, I'm going to make a comic. I'm going to make a comic with Vikings, guns, fucking weird blue steed creatures that pull a chariot. And that's for the best, I think, at the end of the day. Because, this is part of like the I guess the dream fantasy of where do you want to be in life. I would love, 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 and adore to be at a point where I can turn down like brands and stuff. If a big brand comes up to me and says, Ewan, here's X amount of money for you if you will produce some artwork for us. I'd love to be at a point where I can comfortably have an offer like that and turn it down and just be like, nah, it's not what I want to do. I don't need the money. I'm good. If something like that happened today, I'd be like, yep, let's do it. I'll drop everything I'm doing, for the right price, obviously. Let's get some shit going for some money, because not that I don't need money. I don't want money, but the more money I have, the more time I can spend making cool shit like Gun Viking. That's literally it. It's I have to keep taking a break from Gun Viking to do commissions because I've got to pay my rent and pay my bills, which is, I'm glad I can do that, but it would be great if I could just have the time and money to just work on something I want to do. And I'm trying to work it because I know, hopefully, Gun Viking, the sales will make me a decent amount of money. So I'm sort of trying to balance it between wait until Gun Viking comes out because then I'll have some money, but also if Gun Viking takes a bit longer than I hoped or whatever, I'm going to need to still pay bills in between now and then. So it's a difficult one. So if a company did come up out of the blue and say, here's some money, do some artwork, I'd say, yeah, okay, cool, let's go. And that would then afford me the luxury of working on my own shit. But the dream is, what I would love to have happen is for the same companies who won't work with me because of whatever reason, because I'm shit, to later on down the line go, oh, hey, Ewan, you're doing really well now. Let's maybe work together. And then I can say, nah, we're good. You weren't interested in me before because, I was vile and horrible. So let's just leave it at that. Unless they say, like, here's millions and millions of pounds, which is not going to happen. But it's an interesting quandary, actually. There was an artist who did a talk at my university, and he said he was approached by Shell Oil, I think, to do some work for them, which would have been up on, like, it would be basically their advertising imagery for them, which would be on billboards, and I think they said it would be on planes and stuff, like all over the world, this huge campaign, and they wanted this illustrator's artwork for it. Apparently, they would have paid him enough money that he would basically never have to work again. Like Shell Oil would have, had this guy set for life from this advertising job. Because, advertisers pay some of the most ridiculous sums of money. And I guess rightly so, especially for something like Shell Oil, because they've got the money, and it would be seen all over the world for years, potentially, and it would be his artwork used to advertise Shell Oil. So it's only right that he'd be compensated fairly with enough money that he'd never have to work again. That was his words. The amount of money they offered is enough that he would never have to work again if he chose it to be such. But he didn't. He turned it down because it's Shell Oil. Like, he was a decent down to earth guy, so it's perfectly reasonable that morally he didn't want to be involved with Shell, and that's completely like, I don't want to be involved with advertising, full stop. I think it's one of the most disgusting things on the planet. Advertising and marketing is fucking disgusting. They say I'm filthy, I'm awful and disgusting. Companies won't work with me because I say some bad words. Shell Oil, one of the biggest fucking companies, are literally destroying the planet, and they're willing to pay, I don't even, tens of millions maybe. He didn't say a number of how much they offered him, but it must have been like tens of millions at least, if not far more than that. They're paying that much for artists to advertise oil. But oh no, Ewan says a bad word, so we're not going to work with him. Like, come on, really. So yeah, you know, you do have to wonder, like, oh shit, what would I do in that situation? Would I take the money, or would I not? And I think it would depend on. I try not to fantasize about this stuff too much. I think it's unhealthy to, you know, go too deep into these fantasies and things. But on a basic level, it would depend. If it was like now, if they offered me that kind of money, I'd take it and run. I'd do my one, like, sell my soul evil deed. That's it. You know, do it, take the money and get out, and not have to worry about that ever again, because I'm fine. I've got all the money in the world, which would then, like I say, give me the freedom to do what I want. I can make all the books I've ever wanted to make. I can make bigger artworks. I can go travel places, see people, do things. All off of this one fucking satanic deal I made. But then, you know, for the illustrator who mentioned that this happened, if I was in his position where he's making a good living doing his artwork, he doesn't need a lot of money. He's already doing basically what he wants to do, and he's making an okay living doing it. So he doesn't need loads of money. So he's in a position where he can comfortably turn it down. And I think that's, yeah, it would depend. I'd have morals if I was in a financially comfortable position to have them. But if I could use the money, then I would sell my soul in a second.